Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Chime. My co-founder is Soni, and our system is called Prepare Together. We enable schools to communicate more efficiently during extreme events like school shootings. 94. 94. That's the number of school shootings that occurred in our country just last year, and that's the largest number in 50 years. Now, everyone in this room understands the gravity of this issue, but what few people understand is why these events are just so deadly. The majority of schools across the country use the PA system as their primary form of communication during extreme events. Now, this is problematic for two reasons. First, the PA system depends on a relay of information to communicate to the masses, and it's a system that's been in place since the 1930s and has seen little innovation since. These problems were evident in Parkland. In this shooting, it took school administrators 3 minutes and 30 seconds to initiate a lockdown within their school, while the shooting itself was only 5 minutes. That means, from the majority of the shooting, people internally were scrambling, trying to get more information, and that was to the advantage of the shooter. He was able to fire off so many rounds from his AR-15 that the smoke from his gun set off fire alarms. People then, not receiving an alert, walked in the hallways as if it was a normal fire drill. Now, the second issue is a PA system is a centralized system. Guys, the average age of a shooter right now is 16 years old. They're a student. They're someone who's intimately connected with the procedures and protocols that schools use when locking down. So who's stopping that person from attacking your centralized PA system first and decimating your only line of communication to the rest of the campus? And the third issue is authorities just respond too slow. The average response to a school shooting is 18 minutes. Well, the average school shooting is done in 12. So instead of being there to combat this issue, they're only there for the aftermath. It's for these reasons that we engineered Prepared. Prepared is a one-touch, mobile alert system placed in the hands of every single trusted faculty member within schools. Now what this does is first, it allows your response to a school shooting to be seemingly instantaneous. Second, it's a totally decentralized system because we place it in the hands of every single trusted faculty member. And third, it's streamlined with your local authorities, so not only can they respond faster, they can respond better because we send them pertinent information like location, and it's customized to meet schools' needs. Here's how it works. The teacher sees an event and opens the app. They then press and hold the active shooter button for 3 seconds to ensure no accidental clicks. That alert is then sent to the administrator, while the teacher sends over critical information. After that lockdown is initiated, everyone receives an alert, and the whole process is done within seconds. Now, if we look at this market, there's a huge opportunity there. It's a $3 billion school security industry made of 132,000 public and private schools. But if we zoom in, we see that opportunity grows. Prepared is distinctly different by offering a system and customizing that system to meet schools' needs. But even past that, we have a threat-adaptive, dynamic user interface that's patent pending, different from anything else on the market. And Neil is going to tell you how it works.
So earlier we showed you the report page for a normal teacher. As soon as they press and hold the active shooter button, it immediately notifies both administrators that the threat exists and also prompts all other teachers in the school to confirm that this threat is real and present within a school. This allows administrators to make more informed decisions on how to respond to this emergency. As soon as they initiate a lockdown in a school, it immediately prompts all teachers to mark themselves as safe, request help, or even send custom messages informing administrators and police on how the event is progressing within a school. The administrative view is very similar. They can initiate a response within a school, like a lockdown, and they can end that emergency procedure. They can also see a live view, a feed of all of the requests for help, all of the mark safe, and all of the information provided by teachers and students. And in response, they can send notifications to everybody in the school about how they should respond and how the situation is the ongoing situation. Students play a key role in this. They can receive announcements like a lockdown or follow-up updates. They can also mark themselves as safe, request help, or even in the case where a student sees a threat before a faculty member, they can report it through our report button. District administrators have the role of locking down or initiating responses in clusters of schools. Say there's an elementary, middle school, and high school right next to each other. If one has a threat, if one's in an active threat situation, you'd usually want to initiate a response in all three. And that can be done with the click of a button. What differentiates our notifications from, say, a normal text message is that we have worked with Apple and actually received permissions to send critical alerts. This means that we can override your phone's ringer if it's on Do Not Disturb or silent mode, and immediately notifying you that you need to check your phone for updates to an emergency situation.
Now, Neil just talked to you about how our system works, but the next question is, why is it important? To do that and explain that most effectively, I ask you to think of the use case. You're a student, you're an administrator, or you're a teacher, and there's a school shooter on your campus. If that's the case, speed is everything, and seconds are lives. Do you want to search through an app to find the information you need to communicate? No. That's why it's readily available on your interface based on the situation in the school you're in. But also, by prompting information like "marked safe" or "needs help," we're actually creating better locational and situational awareness for first responders and administrators. Also, by collecting this information, we're making every user a node in a data collecting network that's real-time, creating a timeline of what's going on in the event that can be leveraged for post-event evaluation. Now, these differences have led us to some really exciting early traction. Within our first 5 months of incorporation, we're already going to be in 21 schools with $50,000 in annual recurring revenue. But the unfortunate truth is, this isn't a problem that's just unique to schools. Actually, there's heightened awareness in other categories, like for organizations. 3/4 of them are saying this is their top safety threat. And also, 60% of shootings actually happen in commerce-related settings. So we think we can navigate and potentially be in multiple different verticals. But how are we going to expand ourselves in schools, but also go into different verticals? We have an extremely passionate team. For me, this issue is close to home. I grew up just miles away from the Chardon shooting in 2012. My co-founders, Dylan and Neil, were just districts away from Sandy Hook. And Daniel went to a tough public school where he said he experienced gun violence on a weekly basis. Past that, we've been in this space. Dylan and Neil created an education app that received full penetration within their high school, and we all bring relevant experience from companies like Apple, Adobe, and Intel. And even further, we have great advisors coming from different spaces within Yale: finance, tech, and law. Now, for me and my team, unfortunately, we're part of a generation that grew up with this issue. But now, we've grown up. And we are the people standing before you, ready to solve it. So that's why we've made it our duty, to help every school be prepared when every second counts. Thank you.